Hello, my name is Kent Philpott, and this is the 19th of June, 2014, and I was reading the San Francisco Chronicle this morning, and on the front page was an article by C.W. Nevius. That's C.W. Nevius. I've read hundreds of articles of his in the Chronicle. This one that I felt I must respond to. This article is titled "Archbishop Keeps Marching Out of Step." Now, this is the second article that Nevius has done on this particular issue. The Roman Catholic Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone, hope I pronounced that right, he is going to go to a march in Washington, D.C. coming up, a march called the March for Marriage. And it is far broader than the Roman Catholic Church. It involves Christians of many stripes. And what the issue is a promotion of marriage in the traditional and biblical sense between one man and one woman. Well, there's been a lot of lobbying toward the Archbishop, including political, from people like Nancy Pelosi and so on, who have written letters and urged him not to go, not to show support, because after all, the LGBT community, that's the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender community, is large in San Francisco, and after all, there are Catholic congregations in the city that have these people as part of those congregations. Well, what Nevius does is he uses a couple of tactics that I think are completely unfair. One is guilt by association. He names a couple of people like the Reverend Bill Owens, who has spoken out, who is a part of the Coalition of African American Preachers, who said, well, if it is a civil right for a man to marry a woman, a man and a woman to marry a woman, what's the difference of a man deciding if he wants to have sex with a dog? Well, it doesn't make any difference if we agree with that or not, but he associates the Archbishop with this position, and then also he also references Gary Bauer, who is the former Family Research Council president, and who also takes a more biblical stand against same-sex marriage and tries to say, look, these guys are decidedly awful, and here the Archbishop is going to be marching in the very same thing that these fellows are. Well, it's kind of a bullying technique. It is using a bully pulpit to influence people, and very much to tarnish and castigate the Archbishop. Now, I'm a Baptist preacher. I've been one since 1963, and I am not a Roman Catholic, but yet I support the Archbishop. He reports to a higher authority. On the one hand, Pope Francis, but also even higher authority than that, of course, is the God of the Bible, who has given us the scripture, and which the issue of marriage is quite simple and clear, very plain, needs no defense or explanation. It's just there. So the article, he attempts to tarnish the Archbishop, and I sent this morning a letter to the editor and an email to Mr. Nevius in response to his article. I'll be shocked to see whether, if they would print it or not. I thoroughly think that they will not. But I think it's important to speak out, particularly here in the Bay Area. One part of the Golden Gate Bridge is in our county, the other one is San Francisco. San Francisco is about 7 minutes away from my office in Mill Valley. And so we are well aware of the power of the community, and yes, the Christian community in the Bay Area is decidedly small. In fact, my county where I live has the lowest proportion of Christians living in it than any county in America. And so I feel incumbent upon me to speak out on some of these issues. For some reasons, the Christian community, as always, tends to be rather silent about these things. I'm not urging any action. I'm simply pointing out how it is that a Christian minority can be influenced from a very powerful and influential position, such as newspaper journalists have. And probably it's going to be necessary for us Christians to stand up and be heard, and not in a loud, angry way, but in a reasoned and biblical approach. I hope that this little video will be of some encouragement to some people. So long.